Hey, it's RC Thornton here, licensed tax professional, and today I wanted to talk to you about what do you do if you owe the IRS multiple six figures or seven figures in back taxes. According to a recent study released by the Department of the Treasury, did you know that of all the people out there who owe back IRS taxes, 85% of them owe $25,000 or less? So most of the resources you see out there about how to fix back tax problems really are applicable to people that have relatively small balances. But what if you're one of those people in business, most likely, who owe two, three, four, five, six, $700,000, if not $1 million, if not over $1 million in back taxes? I mean, you're probably sitting there looking at this situation, just thinking to yourself, how the hell am I going to get this thing fixed? And it's even tougher too, because as you can probably imagine, the more you owe the IRS, the more badly they want to collect it. I mean, if you owe them like 14 grand or something, maybe you can kind of get under the radar. But if you owe them $650,000, like a lot of the people we work with and a lot of our clients, what do you do about that? You know, I have a lot of very unique perspective in this. Most of our clients owe at least $100,000, if not multiple six figures. We have clients that owe seven figures in back taxes. So I've kind of been able to see how the IRS plays this out. And I wanted to share with you exactly what you need to know. So for most people that owe this kind of money, it's kind of they're kind of like in a weird situation, because under most circumstances, to owe the IRS $600,000, your income is probably pretty high, right? Because income taxes are just a proportion of the amount of money you made. So if you owe them $600,000 in back taxes, you probably have reasonably high income. And that leads to one of the biggest paradoxes that I have found in helping people with back tax problems is, if they make so much money in the first place, why is it that their taxes are unpaid? Because you might normally think, and I think just most people think, people that would have tax problems are like people that are poor, right? You say, like, if you don't have any money, that's why you're not paying your taxes. But if you're making $350,000 a year, why aren't you paying your taxes? And the answer to that question is because we as business owners have more financial burdens and intricacies than just the average W-2 employee, so to speak, right? And so therefore, solving this problem really at the core, number one, has to do with addressing your financial foundation. You cannot fix this problem if you have a bad financial foundation. If you don't have proper bookkeeping in your business, if you don't have proper financial controls, if you don't have financial advisors who are helping you structure all of this, if you don't have your cash flow and your working capital worked out and other sources of financing, you're not going to be able to get the tax problem fixed, because the tax problem is just a symptom of underlying financial mismanagement. And if that underlying financial mismanagement is not adjusted, then overall the whole problem won't be fixed. So what I tell all my clients is, guys, on the surface, this seems like a tax problem, but it's really a financial and a life problem. You need to really dissect your business and figure out why it is that this problem perpetuates every single year. And you need to make very hard decisions and be willing to make very difficult decisions and implement immediate change in order to get that taken care of. Because as you go down the road of fixing your tax problem, there is no solution to it if you're just going to keep adding more problems every year. It's just anything I could negotiate for you with the IRS is going to get revoked if you just owe them more money. So you have to get the underlying structure fixed. The next thing that you have to do is really understand, like, what can you get out of the resolution with the IRS? You know, a lot of times when people have smaller tax problems, the answer can be very simplistic, like call them and set up a payment plan for $400 a month. You know, if you owe them $25,000, you can probably afford to pay them $400 a month, case closed, right? But here's the problem. You know, if you owe them $600,000, I mean, what do you think a payment plan of 600 grand is going to be? Like, out of the chute, I mean, what do they want? $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000 a month? It doesn't work to just go in there and say, I want a payment plan with the IRS. You have to negotiate every single aspect of this out in a very customized way. And especially if you're in business, I'm sure your income is up some months, down other months, around other months. How do you convey to the IRS what it is that your income even is in the first place as a baseline to try to resolve the situation? And then it becomes even more difficult when you have equity in your assets. You know, a lot of our clients, they actually have decent equity. Like maybe they have a home, maybe they have a commercial building, maybe they have other types of property that have equity in them. And the IRS is going to have its eyes on all of that. So the bottom line is you really have to come up with an encompassing solution to this problem that takes everything in your business and your life into account. There are no easy answers to the question. And the goal is just to get this into a finalized negotiated resolution that works for the IRS, it works for you, you can actually afford it, and they leave you alone. And then you basically are just paying what you can to them and having them not threaten adverse action against you and your business, because that's really the most important thing. And then what you can do on the back end, you know, if the situation will allow it, is oftentimes you can actually run the clock on a lot of your older tax debt, and a lot of it will start to expire after generally a 10-year period. So that's what we do with a lot of clients. It's like, how do we pay down as much of this as we possibly can according to what your financial situation is? And then how can you make reasonable payments on the rest of it? And then, you know, if there's any way to have some of it written off at the back end as it expires, that's what we try to do. But you nearly need to understand, and I harp on this in all my videos, and if you watch these before, you might even be getting tired of me saying it, you got to address the back end issues that are leading to this problem in the first place. Because your business, guys, it's really got to be generating cash in a way you can at least meet your tax compliance issues. Or there is no solution. And that's how people that make so much money wind up owing so much, is because of all these other business problems, and then the IRS is like the last thing on their mind, and they can kind of get away with it for several years because the IRS is usually pretty slow, and then it just comes and bites them one day with a knock at the door, a big stack of letters. It's not worth it. You got to really man up, woman up, and figure out a way to restructure your businesses and your finances. Don't ignore it, and come up with a way to restructure it so you can stay on top of it from now on. You'll be glad you did. So if you watch this and you're just like, RCA, I need help restructuring my finances and my business in order to stay on top of this, but also I want to, resolve this issue with the IRS. What exactly do I need to do? Well, what I'd invite you to do is you can apply for a tax strategy session with me. Below, somewhere around here, there's a link you can click on to schedule a time. And what I'll do is I'll just sit down with you over the phone and we'll talk. I'll see where you are and I'll let you know what I can do to help you out. And I mean, if I can help you, I'll let you know what we can do. If there's a better resource out there for you, I'll certainly refer you to that as well. It's not a sales pitch. I'm not here to convince you to do something. I'm truly just here to help if it's something you'd like help on. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you soon.